We have our guest speaker tonight is our district membership chair, and has been a Rotarian for 8 years. He's currently serving on 3 district committees, and he's our assistant governor, my assistant governor. He's been getting the 5 area presidents together every month and really helping us get a good start on our year. He has his own employee benefits business, and I'd like to introduce our own Ray Ward.
Good evening, everyone.
For Ray's gift, he wants a selfie stick.
I have one, I just never remember to use it. Well, you know, this year is my 3rd year as a district membership chair, and it's been a lot of fun, and I'm going around and talking to a lot of clubs. And this is the presentation that I've been giving out to the other clubs, so hopefully you enjoy it also. But the title of it looks like it's weird the way it's set up, because it's why ? Membership. So the why is the question that I want you to be thinking about throughout my presentation tonight. Tonight I'm going to be talking a little bit about diversity, because that's a big issue that we know that's in the news and everywhere today. We're going to talk about common ground, and then that question, why? Because when you're looking for members, you have to find the right people. And you know, today, diversity is used so much, and I think it's almost for the wrong reasons. You know, everybody's trying to split up people into groups. And why are they doing it? You know, in the old days, they would say it's to sell papers, right? It's because you divide people in groups, and you can show conflict between those groups, and people are going to want to get to know more about it, or they'll read the bad news. But I think that's pretty anti-Rotary-like to think about that. You know, when we're defining everybody as something, you know, I'm an Asian American. I'm a late baby boomer. Oh, by the way, you know, I'm only kind of good at math, so I don't necessarily fit that definition very well. But then we say that that definition applies to everybody in that group. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the millennials, kind of make fun of them a little bit. Because is that really true? Just because I'm a late baby boomer doesn't mean that I'm just like everybody else who's a late baby boomer. And then if we start making decisions based on these definitions, we may be either passing people by as far as inviting them to become part of Rotary, or else we may you know, think they were something that they're not really, and they may not fit our club. So Rotary leads to this confusion by talking about diversity all the time now. And they talk about the millennials giving back at higher rates than ever before. But it's kind of interesting, society has changed, so are they really giving back more? You know, at one time, you know, my parents' generation, you never talked about giving back. You just did things for people. And now, we take selfies of us giving back, so it's more prevalent. So are they giving back? I don't know. But they also, the way that society has changed, sometimes they have to give back because that's what's required of them. You know, when I was growing up, my parents did not have to work at the school in order for me to go to any of the schools I went to. My daughter, when she was in 6th grade, she had to do community service for a grade. I never had to do that. They also talk about the millennials work differently. They want to work all these weird hours, and that's why they can't necessarily attend Rotary meetings. But if that's really true, how's our society going to run? Think of an elementary school. If the millennials their teachers would only work when they want to work, does that mean my 4th grader has to go to school from 10 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning, and then the 6th grader, because that teacher wants to work from 1 to 5 in the morning, would have to be at a different time? No, you know, we have people in our communities that work the same regular schedules, or have schedules similar to everybody else. And then of course we talk about social media. The millennials don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to look at their phones, right, and talk via social media. But that's not really true, because if you go downtown where there's a lot of millennials are gathering now, some of us were down there at Coin Up, there's all these bars down there that are designed and go after that marketplace. And I would assume they're in there talking with each other and having a good time. So I think that it comes when we look at this diversity issue that a lot of it is we're thinking about other people in the way we are today. So I have a couple questions for you. How many of you were 18 years old at one time or another? Good. I'm glad. Just about every Cliff was never 18, but everybody else here was 18 at some point. Now, the second question is, how many of you still at 18? Yeah, Diane, I know you think you're 18, but so think about that. We're all 18, and things have changed since we were 18, right? So why do you think that your values, the things that you value today, are the same things you valued when you're 18? They're probably not, right? Probably have changed. We got married. Some of us got married and got married again. You've had kids. All those things have changed the way your values have changed a little bit. So are you looking at people and judging them with your values at your age today and wondering why they're not like you? And that's where we get that cross-pollination. We have members in our club, and we're one of the clubs that are really lucky. We have some younger members. And we can talk with them, and they have a lot of the same values as us, but they probably have different values than we do too. And some of it is because of the different ages. So, what I think we should be looking for is not young people, not people of certain races, not men or women. We should be looking for people that have the same common ground as what we have. They should have the same common interest. Are we looking for people that want to give back and have interests like we do? So what could those interests be? It could be giving back, right? Wasn't that what Rotary's, the common thing for all of us is giving back. So let's look at giving back and look at some of these things that talk about millennials. And you can tell me if you think this is the person that we would want in Rotary. If someone is forced to give back in order for to get whatever they want, so that's that parent that wants their child to go to school. If they have to do 20 hours or 40 hours of community service in that school, and that's the only reason why they're doing it, would they be a good Rotarian? Probably not, right? Because they got handcuffs on. They have to do it, or else their kid's not going to be there. We want people that enjoy community service, that want to do it. So we're looking for those people, not the people that are forced to do it. Anybody here know what Tom Shoes does? Yeah. Well, Tom Shoes is a company that you buy a pair of shoes, and they give a pair of shoes away to in another part of the world to some disadvantaged children. And often this is one of the things to say why millennials give back so much, is they'll go and buy Tom shoes. But if the only reason, or the only community service they do is buy a pair of Tom shoes, so somebody else, the company, will give shoes someplace else, and that's their extent of their involvement in community service, would they be a good Rotarian? Probably not, because we get the joy from also doing as well as giving money and participating in stuff like that. We have the Amazon Smiles program. That's a way that we can do that, and we're going to buy stuff with Amazon so money comes back to our foundation. But we don't want to be just on the sidelines and let somebody else go to work. We want to be part of it. And that's what we should be looking for in Rotarians also. So think about that. When you're looking at these people, find these people that have that common interest of doing service work and being part of it. They also have to have common goals, which is something different that we sometimes forget about. Just because someone's willing to give their time to a certain organization, that doesn't mean they'd be a good Rotarian. My example is one that, you know, if your passion was really helping stray dogs and the SPCA and doing things like that, and that's where your real goal in life was to help and take care of those people, you probably wouldn't be a good fit for our club. It's just simple fact. Our club doesn't do anything for stray animals. So they're better off going and working for the SPCA or some other organization like that. We want people that want to help, in our case, usually children, seniors. Those are our areas that we're really strong. We're also really strong in doing stuff internationally. So if we find people with those same common goals, with the same interests, they want to help out, they want to do the hands-on, they want to give it to the same causes, they'll be a good match for our club. So those are the people you should be looking for when you're going out there. And the last thing is, do they get the same good return on investment? How many of you here have seen the face of someone that we've helped, and that's why you're doing this? That's why you're willing to give more, because you see it in their eyes. They appreciate it. They're just so happy that we've given them a food basket, a dictionary, whatever the case may be. You've seen that out there, and you felt really good. Those are the people that we're looking for as Rotarians also, because that's our satisfaction. That's why we actually pay to be part of a charity organization. You know, you can go help American Cancer. You don't have to give them any money. You know, we pay for our meals, we pay a little bit of money for dues. There's places you don't have to do that. But our return on all that time and money that we spend is a look that we get from people and the good feelings we get from them. So the question why? I think that this is something that as Rotarians, and it's, you know, it's throughout the district, throughout the area, we have to start thinking about. We got to dig deeper. Too often, we just look at the surface thing, and that's why, as a general term, Rotary in North America is struggling. You know, we have a lot more competition now. There's a lot more people that are going to come to the seminar on Friday will hear me talk about. I was just trying to figure out, you know, how much has competition really grown for people's time and dollars and voluntary things. So I went to Charity Navigator. You know, we look at that to see how great our foundation is. But I just put in breast cancer. Just wondering how many different charities that came up in Charity Navigator under the term breast cancer. There was 32 different organizations out there. So that's our competition. People that want to do good and help, there's 32 different options right there that they have, that they don't have to come to Rotary. So we have to think about why are people getting involved and why we're doing it. So, first question we should be asking ourselves is, why does the club want new members? Anybody want to tackle this? Yes, Bill.
So Alice will have something to do.
That's right. It's now Diana, but yes. No. Karen, you want to do this?
Well, I say so we can expand how much community service we do.
Now let's be like a cheer. Why?
It's fun.
Why?
Fellowship.
Why?
Service.
Why? So, and the point here is, we got to dig deeper, because sometimes we answer something like, so we can have more, more people in our club to do more in the community. Well, why is that important? We got to dig down deeper so that we can really explain to people what we're doing. And I think that, generally speaking, when you ask this question on any of these general questions, you got to go down at least 5 whys to find out what the really deep-rooted thing is. It gets down to that school child. Is there a classroom over at Northbridge that we're really making an impact on? And how is that helping those individual students? Because that's what people want to get involved in, is those deep things that we're doing that's really helping others. And we should be able to explain that. So if we just say, oh, we'll have more people to help at a fundraiser, that's not deep enough. People may not want to get involved and be part of our organization if we just brush it over with something, brush stroke very lightly over the top of what we get done. The second question is, why would the prospective mentor want us?
We're fun.
Why? No, we're not going to keep going through that, but think about that. We're looking at these people out there in the community. We have a large community here, and in order to grow and hit the goals that Diana have, we're going to have to talk to a lot of people. Because you just don't talk to one person and they come in. You probably, for every 3 people that usually join, or for every 1 person that joins a club, usually there's 3 people that you have to talk to and have to have some interest in the club before you get that one. And then you probably have to talk to 5 people to get one of those 3 that will even talk to you about it. So to hit her number of 12 that she wants to grow next year, we're talking about probably hundreds of people that we have to talk to. So we got to find out why in our community there's hundreds of people that want to be part of our organization, so that we can target those people and go talk to those people. And then the last thing is, why should you, the members, help in this process? And I think you got to think really deeply. I think some of you, it's probably for the legacy, that you know that this club's going to be around long after all of us will be here. That the community is better in some way because of the things that we've all done and the things that we put together. But you have to look deep inside of you and ask yourself that why, because if you understand why we should be growing, why it's important to you, then you're more apt to go out there and help us in this process of hitting our goals. Through this process, we got to look and make sure that our club matches our community. And that always changes. Things that are popular today aren't popular down the road. And that's always been the case. So as we look at our club, as it evolves, we have to decide what should we keep. And I think we should keep things that are important to the community. We should change things that aren't important to the community. And I don't know necessarily what they are, but I think that we should all take a look at that. Look at the community and see how we're affecting it. What kind of programs. Maybe it's a program that we're doing right now that's past its prime. We should reevaluate all those programs every year. And then change the ones that are no longer valid. Because what we want to do is make a positive difference. We want to make sure that what we're doing today is making a positive difference both for the club as well as the community. We're not really rebuilding our club because we're strong and we've been growing for years. But again, let's take a look at the community and see what we can do to work for it. And I think that we should reevaluate our place in this community as well as that. Because again, if we're doing things the community wants, people will want to be part of us. But we also have to make sure it works for the club. We have members here that have been around for quite some time. And we can't forget them. We have to make sure that what works for the community also works for our club members. Now they may have to adjust, the community may have to adjust, but we always are changing, so shouldn't be a big deal for us to make minor changes, but it has to work for everybody. And if we're ready to go, then we can move forward and do the stuff that I think is most important. Make sure that our club is strong, and by our club being strong, we make sure that we make a huge impact in this community, which makes it a better community for all of us. With that, I always like to end with a quote. And this one's by Stephen King. It says, "You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will." I challenge us as a club to start and continue to make changes that make us a stronger club and better for our community. Thanks.